What is up, everybody? Oh my gosh, I can't believe we get to hang out again tonight. This is so good. I hope you've had a great week. I know that school has started back up, whatever forms that looks like for you, and that has been being figured out as we speak. I got a haircut today by Joanna. She's getting pretty good at it. Feel pretty spiffy. Well, I'm super pumped you're here. If you want, I would love to see some comments, see where you're watching from, but also maybe an emoji of how the week went for you. Hit us up with an emoji of how that week went for you. If I had to describe my week in an emoji, maybe two emojis, like just all the different face emojis, probably all around somehow that, I think, would be how I would describe it. So happy times, sad times, flat face time, like where it's like, I don't know what that one is, all the things. Megan, I think that's an okay. There you go. Megan's got all the face things going on. I like that. So I'm really excited to be hanging out with you guys tonight. The couch emoji plus like a tired, okay star face. So maybe they're sleepy. That's what I'm going to go with here. But I'm really glad you guys are joining us. Hopefully you can share this with a friend. Just click share, invite them, say get on here. We're about to play Mad Gabs, which is a crowd favorite. Pretty excited about it. We'll see how well you do. Last week we played Whisper Challenge, where I would mute myself, say something, and you had to guess what it was. And Cindy over here kept guessing it because she was reading my lips. And then I think she was cheating at one point. Anyway, I don't think you can do that with Mad Gabs. We're going to find out. So, yeah, Joanna. So she might have some skills there, which is kind of fun, too. I did not get cut with my hair. Like, the hair was cut, I was not. So that's good. All right, well, it's time. Let's get into the game. Here we go. So we're playing Mad Gabs. I'm really excited about this. The basic way that this works is I will put up a phrase that doesn't really make sense unless you say it out loud. And as you say it out loud, you'll realize it actually means something else. And once you have that, type it in the comments. First one to get it wins that round. Everybody got it? Ready, set, go. What could this be? Remember, you really have to say it out loud for it to work. Mar, thus, do, hurt. Did you get it? Mar, thus, do, hurt. Mar, thus, do, hurt. Peyton Grace for the win. That's what I'm seeing. The correct answer is Martha Stewart. Man, everybody came in like right at the same time. That was crazy. All right. Here we go. Here's the next one. Let's see what you got. Remember, you got to say it out loud for it to make sense. But when you do, it does. It's just like magic. Tooth, hum, sup. It's an interesting one. Tooth, hum, sup. All right, I see you, London. Tooth, hum, sup. 2 thumbs up. Whoa, that was like a 4 or 5-way tie. Correct answer being 2 thumbs up. All right. Here we go. Here's the next one. Let's see what we got. Up, he, such, ease. Up, he, such, ease. I like that Travis or Pax, not sure which one, just gave like actual 2 thumbs up for 2 thumbs up. That's pretty good. Peyton, you're so close. Susie, a piece of cheese. Boom. There it is. Yeah, Peyton, I can't believe you called me you piece of cheese. We'll have to talk about that later. All right, let's see what else we got. Let's do a hard one. Okay, here we go. This one's a little trickier. Peyton, it's okay. I'm not offended. All right, this one's a little trickier. Let's see what you guys got. See who comes up with it first. See if we can sound it out. Dent, hull, high, chin, nest. Dental hygienist. Whew. Man, you guys are way better at this than I would have been. I'm impressed. All right, should we do one more? Let's do one more. Well done, Katie. All right. Here we go. Last one. Should be a quick one. Let's see what you guys got. All right, we'll spell it out. Wander, her, womb, hen. Cindy looks very confused. Wonder Woman is correct. Cindy coming in with the big win at the end. That's what I'm talking about. Guys, that was awesome. Really proud of you guys. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Man, everybody's crushing this. Way to go. All right, well, I have something exciting to tell you guys that just happened earlier today. We went on location and had a youth say yes to following Jesus and get baptized. What? And it gets better. It's Cindy's daughter, Jaden. And we have a short little video. We'll have a longer one later where she actually tells like kind of why she made this decision. But it's so exciting. Are you ready? Here we go.
Are we going this way? Whatever you're feeling. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you got a good one. I'm here to back up. All right. So we'll go back this way. Are you ready? Okay. Jaden, I baptize you in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit.
That was so good. Oh man. Also, that pool was awesome. Just the right temperature. It was great. But that's so exciting. Remember, if you are interested in learning more about what it looks like to say yes to following Jesus, whatever that looks like for you, we would love to talk to you about that. You can message us, hit me up. You can also talk to your small group leaders, but it's super exciting. Well, I had a chance this week once again to sit down with some of our juniors and seniors and talk about some things which I'm super pumped about for you guys to hear. We talked about life and faith and conspiracy theories. Check it out. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome, and I'm just so excited you guys are here. Chris here with Village Youth, and I've got my influencers with us tonight, and we are going to be having some fun. We have some interesting conversation ahead of us, and I'm excited that we are jumping in. Tonight, we are talking about what it looks like to have a strong foundation in God, but to do that, we're going to have to talk about something taking over the whole internet: conspiracy theories. That's right. We're going to chat a little bit about some of the dark web that has made its way into the World Wide Web. Have you heard any conspiracy theories of late?
Another fun conspiracy theory is Shane Dawson and Chuck E. Cheese, and if they actually bake the pizza or if they take pieces of leftover pizzas and just put them together.
Ew.
Shane Dawson in general is just like going through it right now.
That's true. He does have a lot going on right now.
One of the OG conspiracy theories that kind of got all these mainstream. There's two of them. One is, did we really go to the moon? That's an OG one. And two, is the Earth flat? You know what I'm talking about, flat earthers. So just a real quick, do you think we went to the moon?
Definitely.
Yes. Yeah.
Both
Yeah,
sides of my family
definitely.
work at NASA. I can confirm that we went to the moon.
So, Andy, yes, your mom worked at NASA
Yes.
and can confirm that is a real thing that everyone, this is Mary Kay. Hang on, I got to point the right way. This is Mary Kay. We just talked about you and your NASA-ness.
Oh, my NASA-ness.
Is that how you phrase it? That you worked at NASA, whatever that is. All right, real quick question, Mary Kay. Is the moon landing real?
Not be any more real. It's real.
All right, you heard it here
It could
first.
not have been faked.
You heard it here from NASA. It was real.
It's from NASA.
Was it a grandmother that also worked there?
So my dad's godmother is one of the three women from Hidden Figures. So my grandfather's best friend, played by Janelle Monáe, like they met at NASA, became best friends, like basically like we're not like blood related, but basically part of our family. And then he became my dad's godmother and like all of his siblings' godmother.
I love that. All right, what about flat Earth? Is the Earth flat?
Definitely not.
Yeah,
Eli.
there's no way.
I was gonna say Eli did not move his head, so I was unsure how he felt.
The way that the planes fly just proves that it's not flat. They don't fly just straight. They fly like curved, like an arch, because if they have to like go with the world, I guess. I don't know. The world is not flat. That's all I know. That's just what I'm gonna say.
I have some pretty concrete proof too. So hear me out on this. Don't just drop out immediately. I saw a TikTok. So this guy is like up at the top of some mountain. He's like, for all you people that don't believe the world is round. And then he gets this like super long like selfie stick kind of thing. It was probably like 30 feet or something huge. And he just sticks it like up into the sky. And he's at the like very top of this mountain. And it's looking down. All I'm saying is the land around him looked pretty round from there. I mean,
It's camera tricks.
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
Do you know about the guy who built his own steam-powered rocket so he could fly up to 10,000 feet and see for himself? He literally almost died. Duh. Because he was an aerospace engineer, as we decided earlier you needed to be. Everyone was like, well, just go on a plane because they're at 30,000 feet. And he was like, I can't trust that what they show us out the windows. Conspiracy theories are everywhere. What I have found interesting is throughout the pandemic, more and more and more of them have appeared in like normal life. Why do you think that's becoming more?
People have too much time to think. The world moves so fast that all these things have time to just like happen and people don't really catch it. Now that things slowed down, people are starting to analyze the logistics of how things are working. It's like, oh.
Or maybe overanalyze. I'm sure there's a ton of conspiracy theories about like COVID. I know there's a bunch focused on politics, so everybody's seeing all this stuff in the news, and they start looking for their own conspiracy theories. And
that is called confirmation bias. When you believe something, then you go and find information to agree with what you already believe. And with lack of clarity, that makes it hard to like know what's right. But then there's some things that seem like so far of a stretch. You're like, what is happening right now? Like there has been a lot of confusion around COVID. Don't wear a mask because there's not enough masks. Now wear a mask, now this, now all these things. And like, are we counting things right and whatever? And like, I mean, when it comes down to it, there are a lot of people dead because of COVID, and that sucks. So I'm going to do what I can to not get it and not share it. But I think that is what all of this has kind of pointed out in our society. Like we have a very individualistic society. Everything is built around me. We even call our phones iPhones because they're all about me. Let's just be honest with what that is. Apple nailed it when they marketed that. But our entire society is built around the individual. And so when something comes along that requires the collective, we don't know how to do that. It's just really messy, and our system has been built in America for a long time on the individual and not the collective. And we are seeing what happens with that, along with conspiracy theories. What's interesting to think about conspiracy theories and all of this is I'm getting the sense that people need a more robust story to live into that is beyond themselves, and they're grasping at anything that might be that. So they're trying to find like a foundation in something so they can be like, that's who I am, or this is who I fall behind, or those type things. But a lot of these are so all over the place, it just feels like not a very solid foundation, which is interesting because Jesus talks about this. Not conspiracy theories per se. Maybe he did. I don't know what those would have been back then. He talks about this idea of like having a solid foundation. And so there's actually a passage in Matthew 7, which is at the very end of what's called the Sermon on the Mount, which is Matthew 5-7, which is essentially like Jesus's stump speech or sermon, or like, this is, if you needed to know what I'm about, this is kind of what I'm about type sermon. And so like if he toured around, this was the talk he gave. And right at the end of it, he says this that kind of puts all the things down into perspective. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise one who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against the house, yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish one who built his house on the sand. The rain came down, and the streams rose, and the winds blew and beat against the house, and it fell with a great crash. He ends the whole thing with this idea of, are you founded in the sand or on the rock? What he lays out is that the rock is being founded in someone who follows Jesus, who finds their identity in the one who created everything, the one who is. So you've heard things like God is all creating, all powerful, omnipotent, omniscient, all the omnis, which are hard to say. Chris, this is just going to be Chris can't say things, is what this Zoom is becoming. The best way to describe God is God is, period. And that is the most solid foundation we can have, is the one who created everything. From the beginning, we're told that there was nothing but God. God spoke and everything came into being. If you can be founded on anything that is, God is that. And that's where you can find hope. That's where you can find identity. That's where, if you are founded in following God, finding your identity in the, like, as a beloved child of God, as we've talked about, then you can hold everything else a little more loosely. Conspiracy theories become fun to talk about, but they don't rule your life and your anxiety.
I just wanted to say that it's really easy to like sit here and be like, oh my gosh, I'm such a good Christian. I'm so grounded. When the truth is, I'm really not. I'm so young and I'm so new as a child of God per se that I'm sand with a little bit of rock in it. Like I'm still trying to get my foundation, and there are definitely things in life that are still gonna like knock me down no matter how godly I can be, because I mean, I'm human and I don't have a lot of experiences yet, and I'm still trying to learn my way around the world. And like, if you're not solid rock, that's normal. That's completely normal. And I have questions about like Christianity and the Bible, and I'm asking my questions when I'm comfortable, and it's okay to be sand.
And hopefully you hear that as we're talking about this. We are hoping not to end with all the answers after each one of these, where it's like, we solved it, we did it, good job everyone, way to go. It's a continual journey and process of learning and growing into who God created you to be, where you will have days where you are doing really well with that and days where you are terrible at it. And the trick is just to keep going. So Carrie Ann, I love that. And that's why we need God as the foundation and not us. because we are always going to be sand in some way, shape, or form. It's just it's how it works. For me, I've noticed throughout the pandemic that there are waves like this. Like I felt like pretty okay and then like not good okay at all. And when I've looked into that, I have found that when I am constantly on my phone digging into what's happening next all the time, that's when this trajectory starts happening. And when I can walk away from it, literally go for a walk in God's creation, when I can do that, then I start to feel the sand go away and the rock come back up, because I'm resting in the fact that God is God and I'm not. But it's always a process.
I know the past week for me, week and a half, have not been very good weeks in my faith. I have been very distracted by other things, and I have not spent time with God during the day. Haven't been reading as much, or haven't been reading the Bible, haven't been spending time with Him. Instead, I've been focusing on hanging out with friends, playing sports, just everything else that can get my mind away from having to confront God about my problems. And I think as a Christian, there are ups and downs. And when you get to a down, I have been just so excited about finally starting to become close, like as close or starting to become as close as I wanted to be with God. And then stuff happened and I started sinning like I used to, and I didn't want to confront that problem. I mean, if I did confront it, then I would have to admit that I was wrong, and that's very hard to do. That was one time that I returned back to the sand lately. Now I'm back on track, so it's good.
So can I ask you, what was one of the first steps you took to get back on track?
The first thing I did was told myself God is first. These worldly objects don't matter. So the first thing I did was I got off my video games, told myself, I finally admitted to myself, like, I have a problem that I need to fix. And if I don't turn to God, I'm just going to turn to something else. And that's just replacing Him. I spent time with Him, and then I just prayed. And I woke up this morning feeling way better. I'm going to become closer to God since I'm turning to Him and not something else besides Him in this moment.
And the other thing to know that you can do when you get to those sandy parts is reach out to someone who can help. And I think that's hard, because then you're, like you said, Eli, you're admitting, hey, it's not going great, which I don't know about you, but I hate admitting that.
Yeah.
It's like the worst to be like, yeah, I'm not doing okay. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm an extrovert. I know. Surprising, because I'm so shy and quiet all of the time.
Never would have guessed.
I know. So I'm admitting this now. Hi, I'm Chris, and I'm an extrovert. And quarantine has been awful for the extroverted side of me. And only recently have I gotten to a place where I'm starting to ask people to just show up. But that was admitting that I needed that. And it's hard. Like, as adults, we don't have this figured out. But the first step, like you, Eli, like you said, is like to notice this is not what we're going for here, and to say, all right, so what do I need to do to change it?
What Eli said, hit close to me as well. And also what Kerrigan said, like starting out your faith. Like, I think this past year, I've started like more seriously, like having doubts about it, just because, you got to figure out for yourself and decide what you actually believe. So I think that definitely was like my sandy bit, and it still is, because doubting stuff is not fun. But yeah, I feel like having doubts is the sandiest part for me.
Anytime I have had doubts or big questions, if I dug into them, that's when my faith grew the most. I found that when faith is good, whatever that means, my faith wasn't growing. It just kind of this. But when I hit the rocky part, if you will, or the sandy bits, as we're now calling them, then that's when I dug in. I asked for help. I asked big questions. I did a lot of praying, and I learned a lot about God in that. And I have always learned that God is big enough for all of my doubts and my questions. There are some flavors of Christianity that are like, don't ask questions, just believe. and I don't think that's helpful. And if you read through the Bible, a lot of people yell at God, like not ask like, "Hey God, I got a quick question." They're like, "Are you kidding me?" And God talks to them. So I don't think God is like, "You don't do that." And sometimes God has a very heated exchange with them, which is really funny. So I'm hoping we can actually talk about some of those down the road. I don't know if that helps. For me, I'm encouraged when people are like, "Hey, I'm really like wrestling with some stuff," which sounds weird, but it's because there's a possibility of like a lot of growth in it, which is really good, even though it's messy.
Even while I was in Georgia, I was seeing that I was starting to veer off because like I would still some things, but it wasn't as much as I would normally do. Like I typically try to read a bit, and then I like worshiping with songs, so you just like blast them and then have your own concert. But I found something and I am absolutely obsessed. But I got a Bible recently, a new one, and I decided, you know what, I want to make it unique. So I got a bunch of Pinterest stickers and I decorated it. And so it's like, it's my own little thing. Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. It just really helped me feel closer to God because it's like everyone has a Bible, but no one has a Bible like this. And all of these things relate to me. I don't know.
And I think that goes back to what Eli was saying too, is like when he noticed this was not what he was going for, then he started to make some shifts. And so one of those is like asking for help. One of those is listening, and just like admitting like, okay, if this is what I'm doing now is not what I'm hoping for, how do I shift that? How do I change that foundation? So. Wasn't that awesome? I love that so much. I think I'm too loud. Okay, let's see if that's better. Hello. That conversation is so exciting for me just to think about what are we founding our lives on? And we saw Jaden make a decision to found her life on following Jesus on the rock, which was so awesome. And as they talked about in this conversation, it doesn't mean everything's perfect. It doesn't mean you're happy all the time. It can get really hard. It can get really, what do we say, sandy bits. But there's something about when your life is founded on God, you can hold everything else more loosely. You can find peace in things that create chaos for other people because your foundation is different. So my encouragement to you is think about what is founded in your life. What is your foundation? And what does it look like for it to be the rock? Well, as we close, I want to remind you next week, small groups are kicking back off. We will be doing several different things, which we will talk about a little bit next week. But what I want to let you know is that there's a couple things that we'll be doing. From time to time, we will be Zooming as a small group. So you'll watch this, and then you'll jump in your small group in Zoom, which will be awesome. Or you might meet in person. And it may not be every week, not initially, but you might actually meet in person, watch this, and talk about it together. Now we have some ways we're going to do that so that we're safe, but we're really, really excited about that. But what you need to do right now before next week is sign up to be in a small group. So you may already be in a small group, but we'd love for you to still fill out that form because that really helps us make sure we have everything right in contacting you. So the way to do that is just go to, it's linked in this video, or you can go to our Instagram and it's linked there, or thevillagenashville.com/ whichever way that is, youth events. So we would love for you to sign up. Invite your friends to sign up so they can be in your small group with you. It's so much better with friends, and we have some incredible adults that we're actually meeting right after this to get ready for this year. So I'm so excited about that too. You've seen a lot of them on the chat tonight, and it's going to be awesome. So don't miss it. Sign up, send it to your friends, have them sign up, get everybody to sign up. I cannot tell you how awesome it's going to be. In fact, I have a quick video from Sarah, who literally just signed up during the pandemic for her small group, and she's so excited about what it's going to be. So check this out.
So I chose to join a small group because I really, really wanted some good interaction with kids my age, who loved Jesus and also loved people, because I hadn't really had the best interactions with some people from my everyday life. And being cooped up in the house, I was like, I need something more. It's small. So like, you're starting with people who care and want to listen and want to be there for you. You don't have to share all your guts at once, but they're really there for you to be able to have a support system, for you to be able to get a deeper relationship with God and the people within the church community. So you feel like you belong.
Thank you, Sarah, for sharing your story. It's so exciting. So make sure you sign up for a small group, a place where you can belong, be yourself, and continue to grow in that foundation of the rock, following Jesus with everything that you are. Well, as we close tonight, I just wanted to pray for you. If there's any way I can pray for you, add those in the comments below. But I know school is also bringing up a lot of different things. So I just want to pray for us now. So will you join me in prayer? God, we come to you with all sorts of feelings, all the feels. We might be excited, we might be sad, we might be anxious, we might just kind of be melancholy, but we come to you knowing that you are our solid rock, and that may we continue to make choices to follow you and to find our foundation in you, so that we can let go of all the other things in our lives and hold them a lot more loosely. Be with all of the students who have school this week, and whatever forms those are. We celebrate Jaden's decision for baptism, and we are just so thankful for your love that you offer all of us every day. We pray all this in the name of Jesus. Amen. Everybody, I hope you have a great week. We love you. We miss you. Sign up for a small group, because we're going to get to see you. Can you tell I'm excited? Did I mention I'm an extrovert? It's going to be great. All right, everybody, I will see you later. Peace.